And what we were about to recall last year is where Tesla has been forced to recall some 2 million cars, pretty much all of them in the US and Canada, because of problems with the Autosteer feature, tagged, which more often than not is incorrectly referred to as Autopilot. But before you get a picture of endless lines of four-wheeled Elon babies waiting outside Tesla repair centers, you can't see it worth considering the following. There are recalls and then there are recalls. Here, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, is what Tesla's dealing with. In certain circumstances, when Autosteer is engaged and the driver does not maintain responsibility for vehicle operation and is unprepared to intervene as necessary, or fails to recognize when Autosteer is canceled or not engaged, there may be an increased risk of a crash. Don't miss when they, never mind that the driver in this case is doing something very dumb. The space-aged car is supposed to help keep everyone inside the car and out to be safe when the driver does something very dumb. The fix in this case is an over-the-air software update. There currently are 18 recalls listed on Tesla's website by more than Tesla's websites, and our second backs is a software update, a recall. Is it a recall if you don't actually have to take your car somewhere, drop it off for hours, if not days, and find some other way to get around? Because is it a recall if your car hasn't physically been altered by anyone and doesn't look any different after the difference ends? The short answer is technically yes. It's all about safety-related defects and the legal ramifications that stem from them. It always comes down to lawyers. And given the scale of motor vehicles in the world, that's important. We need standards to keep folks safe. Again, from the NHTSA, a safety-related defect is defined as any defect in performance, construction, a component, or material of the motor vehicle or motor vehicle equipment. And that's extremely broad for the obvious reason that a vehicle is made up of tens of thousands of parts. Even when it's an EV that's less complicated than a traditional gas vehicle, but words matter. And a recall for a software update, even or especially one as important as a software update that will keep people from killing themselves and others because of a feature that many believe shouldn't be on the road in its current capacity, needs its own nomenclature. A bad batch of tires isn't the same as a bad batch of code, at least not as far as the remedy is concerned. And consider the Takata airbag recall. And that one touched 67 million airbags. I had to take my 2005 Honda Civic in twice to get both front airbags replaced separately. And argue that fixing the remote, but very real possibility that metal shards could explode toward my face, is no more or less important than fixing Tesla's Autosteer, meaning the Autopilot software, so that it can't be used by a driver who abuses it. And they recognize they've been made to see real smaller. But the airbag recall required me to take my car to the Honda dealer, again twice. Tesla's Autosteer repeated the CF. So Pooler made rank, they can several down the Tapas, but we may be if the entire service of website of the entire service is lured. Recall starts to lose its meaning if it doesn't actually require you to do something. And here's what Tesla actually is doing for this voluntarily issued recall. At no cost to customers, affected vehicles will receive an over-the-air software remedy which is expected to begin deploying to certain affected vehicles on or shortly after December 12, 2023 with software version 2023-4430. The update will incorporate additional controls and alerts
to those already existing affected vehicles to further encourage the driver to adhere to their continuous supervisory responsibility whenever Autosteer is engaged.
In other words, the remedy is pushing out now, today. It won't necessarily keep stupid people from doing stupid things, but it should help. And modern vehicles are more computer than car these days, even those that still only have internal combustion engines. They need new language to help ensure we don't just tune out the important stuff. Even if it's just differentiating between a software recall and a hardware recall. And those of us who write words for a living need to do our part.